2,000 years. The sacred art of the ninja has been guarded in the East.
Remember the day I found you.
Now, it has come to the West.
Remember what is hidden deep in your mind.
He is the only soldier.
Date of birth, unknown.
The only American.
Who is he?
Who is capable of defeating the secret Black Star Army. The mission to hijack a U.S. military arsenal.
Your destiny, my son, awaits you.
The adventure. The confrontation. The code.
I will honor the code, Father.
The invasion. The final hour. The deadliest art of the Orient is now in the hands of an American warrior.
Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and I decided to do a little series of reviews on a certain franchise, the American Ninja franchise. Yes, they went to 5 films, and this is definitely an ode to, once again, Mike, OCPcommunications. He did reviews for these films, and it made me want to see them again, or some for the first time, because I had seen the ones I own. First one, which I like, I'm about to talk about. American Ninja 2, which is my favorite. American Ninja 3, which I think is okay, mainly thanks to this man, Steve James. American Ninja 4, The Annihilation, which starred David Bradley here and Michael Dudikoff there, and I think that film sucks. And you'll know why. And then American Ninja 5, which I think is the worst. Weirdly enough, when I watched American Ninja 4 and 5 first, because I've never seen 5 and 4. I thought I saw it once a long time ago. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't fucking remember. But you'll find out why I hated those films. Those suck. And I think 5 is the worst. Probably makes sense in the fact that Part 5 was never meant to be an American Ninja film. Part 5 was meant to be a film called American Dragons. That's why the star American Ninja 3 and 4, this guy, David Bradley, his character name is Sean, but he's in Part 5 as a character named Joe, I think Joe Castle. Again, because that film was never meant to be American Ninja 5. It was meant to be American Dragons. And it was basically like similar to Surf Ninjas and Three Ninjas, because he has a little kid and it's like fucking PG-13 or PG. Maybe, I think I said PG-13, but that might be PG actually. It's just worst of the worst. Yeah, it's not, oh shit, this film sucks. Well, fuck it. Let's just change it to American Ninja 5 and fuck people over who rent the film. But anyway, getting to the first film, which this is a shitty cover. Because look, it's like, what is it? You look at this. It's like, what is it? Like, this, like this, and like what the fuck is that? Like, that's the cover, you know. It's a shitty, lame ass cover, but what do I know? And anyways, directed by Sam Furstenberg, which before this film, Sam Furstenberg had done Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. He had done Revenge of the Ninja, which I've reviewed on my channel, and you can check that out if you want, but I have reviewed the film. It's on my YouTube page. Or you can just type in Revenge of the Ninja and then my name, Rambo Rat for Life, you'll find the review. I really enjoyed Revenge of the Ninja. Really enjoyed it with Sho Kosugi. He also directed Ninja 3 The Domination, which I wasn't a fan of. And after this, he did American Ninja 2, which I love. I'll get to why next time. Or probably the same day, I'll probably upload 1 and 2. And he went on to do, I think, Cyborg Cop with David Bradley, and Cyborg Cop 2, and a few other stuff. Avenging Force with Michael Dudikoff, and a few other stuff. But I really enjoy American Ninja, and it has kind of an interesting backstory, I thought. Because the whole deal is, if you notice, yeah, 1985, this is when it came out, 1985. What you'll notice is, if you see a trailer to this, like if I put a trailer up and it says American Warrior, the story is, Sho Kosugi was going to be involved with this film. Now, I don't know if he was going to be the villain of the film. Well, I would imagine, because if it's called American Ninja, what they wanted, it would have to be American, be the lead. But, so I guess Sho Kosugi was going to be the villain. Because he's not American, so he can't be the American Ninja. But he had a falling out with Canon, so he left. And he left to do a film called... that was called American Ninja. And like, well, before they could start shooting, Sho Kosugi and his film started shooting. Well, shit, we can't use that title. Thus, they had to change it to American Warrior. I know also Chuck Norris was going to be the lead, but then that deal didn't work out. That'd be interesting, Chuck Norris as the lead in this kind of film. They went to Kirk McKinney. I think that's the guy who starred in the first No Retreat, No Surrender. And I think they said he was too young or something like that. But then what happened was Sho Kosugi's film, just a little bit before they released it, Sho Kosugi's film went from American Ninja to, I think, the 9 Deaths of Ninja. That's the one where when I talked about the shitty cover arts, and it looked like a cartoon where the guy was like anorexic type of ninja. The 9 Deaths of Ninja. So they went from American Ninja to the 9 Deaths of Ninja. And so these guys are, oh shit, they don't have the title anymore. Now we can take that title. So like right before the film came out, they went from American Warrior to American Ninja. That's why you see some trailers where it says American Warrior. But American Ninja, I don't know, it sounds better. I like that title more. But once again, it stars Michael Dudikoff, which the guy did not know martial arts when he came into this film. But he pulls it off well. I think he pulls it off well. And the film also stars Steve James, who I'm a big fan of. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, which is sad. He passed away, I think, in 93. I think 1993. And I want to say it was from... I know it was from a sort of cancer, which is too bad. I don't know if it was pancreatic cancer. I just know it was a certain kind of cancer that he passed away from, which is very sad. But that is no longer with us. But I'm a big fan of Steve James. And he's a big reason why I enjoy the first 3 American Ninja films. He's a great, very underrated guy. And as the film starts off, get that, just getting stuff out of the way. As the film starts off, you got Michael Dudikoff. He's sort of playing with the switchblade. He's sort of the loner type. I think when they cast this film, they said they wanted sort of a James Dean looking type of guy. And he kind of reminds me a little bit like a younger Clint Eastwood, like the squinty eyes, doesn't talk a lot. And Michael Dudikoff, I think, really pulled it off well. I mean, this film gets a 4.8 on IMDb. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, this is just a fun, breezy, entertaining flick. But anyway, his character's name is Joe Armstrong. He's playing with the switchblade, and you have these guys sort of playing hacky sack. One guy's fucking up and kicks it over him. It's like, come on, kick you over. You know, we appreciate a thing called teamwork, pal. But he doesn't give a shit. He's still playing with the switchblade, and they're off. And as they're driving, they get stopped by these bad guys. And they want their trucks and their cargo. And the girl, who's I think the colonel's daughter, and she's Judy Aronson. She did fine in the film. I did not mind her. I don't think she was annoying or irritating. I thought she did fine. She's gone to do like bit roles, like she was a news reporter in Hannibal with Anthony Hopkins. Done a lot of TV work. She was in Desert Kickboxer, which I've not seen. Film called The Sleeping Car, which I've heard of, but I didn't have not seen. Just before this, she was actually in Weird Science. But I did not mind her. Her character's name was Patricia. And basically, as the film goes on, she's trying to fight, but she gets smacked, and Joe gets pissed and kind of fight a little bit with them, and she drives but crashes, and then basically Joe starts fighting, and then all the men start fighting, kick the bad guy's ass. I like that the army men were not just, pushovers. And Joe's fucking some shit up, gets a screwdriver, throws at one guy, hits him in the neck, gets one of those things that you change the tire iron, throws it, someone smacks him in the face. He's trying to save the girl, and then ninjas pop out and kill the guys. Now, it's not ultra gory. Like, Revenge of the Ninja was definitely a lot more gory. I'm like, oh shit. But still, it's R-rated, so, seeing as a little kid, oh shit, Nowadays, it's not like gushing blood like that one ninja assassin, but it works. It works well, and they kill the army guys, and, like, before you had, one guy's trying to steal a truck, and Joe stops him, and then he gets to the girl. And after the ninjas have killed everybody, Joe's with the girl, and they shoot arrows, and he blocks them, and stops one, and grabs it or snaps it. Him and the girl run into the jungle, and ultimately escape. The bad guy who plays the Black Star Ninja, he doesn't really have a name. It's a guy named Tadashi Yamashita. I thought he did a good job. He had a solid presence as a bad guy. He had an evil look to them. He also seemed like he knew what the hell he was doing. But he had a good look to them. Some of the stuff he's been in, I guess, is Cage 2. He was in Gymkata. He was in The Octagon with Chuck Norris. That's probably one of the big roles he had in The Octagon with Chuck Norris. But he played well as the bad guy here. He sold it well. He's called the Black Star because he has a little tattoo like a Black Star Ninja on his face. He plays it off well. I thought he did a good job. He had a good, evil face, and he was capable. I give him credit to that. He's working for this bad guy, and this takes place, I think, in the Philippines. This is where the army base is stationed. And basically the bad guy, he has some connections with the military, where he's able to steal some trucks with cargo, military weapons, and sells them to people. But when Joe gets back, he gets court-martialed, saying, oh, you're heroics. What do you think of John Wayne? You got some people killed, you should just let them go. And, which I thought was total fucking bullshit of them to do. And the soldiers give him the cold shoulder, like, wow, 4 lives to impress a girl, huh? Was it worth it? I'm like, fuck you, buddy. Go suck on a fucking dildo then, you piece of shit. What the fuck were you doing? You had a thumb up your ass sitting there. But then Joe, his character, he has a little bit of flashback because apparently, like, you find out later, as a kid, he was brought up by this man, and he didn't really know much about himself, and one thing led to another. There was an explosion, he lost his memory, so he can only remember bits and pieces of his childhood. I'm trying to remember who that guy was. I think that actor's name, I want to make sure I get it right. I believe it's John Fujioka. I believe that was him. I believe that was him. He did. I really liked him. He had a good presence to him. He's not in the film too much, but you see him a little bit in the flashback later in the film. But before I get that, he has a scene where he finally meets up with Curtis Jackson, Steve James, who says, "Oh, you're a badass." I said, "How come where you go, people think they're a badass?" And they have like a little fight, which isn't much of a fight because Joe pretty much, flips him and takes him down pretty easily. To a point where Joe puts a bucket on his head, it's like, "Come and get me," and gets him, and Curtis Jackson concedes. But this is why you like the character, because the Mr. Opmonic, I call him that because this asshole sergeant, played by John LaMotta, he was basically Mr. Opmonic in the TV show Elf, so I just call him Mr. Opmonic. He gets pissed, saying, "Oh, he's working with the bad guys," and he's like, "Oh, you're doing this, and you started the fight." And Steve James sticks up for him. Goes, "Sir, you're wrong, it's not what you think." And doesn't listen, because again, Mr. Opmonic's the bad guy. Puts him in duty, and they have a good little bit of bonding, where he's like, "Where'd you learn your stuff?" There was a silly thing where Joe says, "It's a long story." "Well, tell me." And literally it takes Joe like 40 seconds to tell a story. I'm like, that was the long story? "Well, I was a kid, and I lost all my memory. I can only remember fragments." And it literally took him 40 seconds. I'm like, that's your long story? Wasn't really a long story, was it? That was pretty funny, but... But they have a good bond. Like Steve James is saying, "Oh, when we get back, we'll do exhibition. We'll make a lot of money." They have a good back and forth to them. And also, like, he has a little bit, like, he notices that Joe likes the colonel's daughter. He's like, "You may have kicked my ass, but you did not make me blind." It says, "I'm glad you're some part of this still human." Till he sees Joe checking out the girl. And you get some good bonding, and one thing leads to another, and they will work out so Joe can get out. And Joe, probably the ode to the Great Escape, because he gets on a motorcycle and jumps it, drives off. And the love story between Joe and the girl, and, it doesn't take up too much time. And both of them are fine. Like, Judy Aronson and Michael Dudikoff are fine. Like, I like Michael Dudikoff, actually. He has a low-key, kind of early Charlie Bronson or Clint Eastwood sort of, low-key, not overdoing it, no Christian Bale voice. And I like him better than David Bradley, which I get to. Michael Dudikoff kind of has a look and presence to him, which I think fits. And his voice is sort of low-key, and I think he does fine. I like Michael Dudikoff. Not afraid to admit it. David Bradley... But Michael Dudikoff, I think he's capable of lead. But anyway, he had a little sort of riding around town a little bit with the girl. And then in the morning, he's reported to the mortar pool. And you get a badass scene where he's in the mortar pool and all these ninjas start attacking him. Like, there's a scene where he goes in, you just see like silhouettes of Joe and then some ninjas, and you see them get kicked out. Or, get ninja starting throwing it at the ninja, fucking ninjas up left, right, and center. Again, not gushing blood and stuff like Ninja Assassin, but really good choreography for a guy who did not know martial arts before this film. I thought he handled it well, handled the sword well. Solid choreography, no shaky cam, wide shots. You can understand the geography of what the hell's going on. When he's fucking up the ninjas, it's cool. Oh yeah, you have a scene before that where the bad guys sort of survey the compound and you see the ninjas training, they're training. And the guy who did the music, Michael Lynn, I would say he did a good job, but I don't know, you never know quite which part is actually his score. Because like in that training montage, you got music from, I think, Enter the Ninja. This scene here where Joe, he fucks up the ninjas and then he's getting this chase where he gets on a guy on a motorcycle, kicks him off and chases him with a stolen truck with a motorcycle. You have music from Missing in Action. Da, 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 Ba 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 ba. Even watching it as a kid, I'm like, that sounds familiar. And ultimately, the guy thinks he ran over Joe, but he got underneath the truck and is able to get to where the bad guys are. Knows what's going on. Escapes. Meets the old man again, played by John Fujioka. I believe that's him. He's able to escape. He gets back and they arrest him again. And the bad guy's like, he must die. Black Star Ninja, can you do it? And the Black Star Ninja sneaks in, fucks up some guards. I think one of the guards he fucks up is Richard Norton, actually, who's been in some stuff. And I don't know, the way it's done, I thought it was pretty hardcore. It's not gushing blood, but the sound effects and the intention is there. He tries to get Joe, but Joe's able to escape the cell, and Black Star Ninja chases Joe, and they have a good fight, like on top of these heavy these armored vehicles. And there's a point where Joe has sort of a, what do you call it? I don't know what it's really called. I say a stick, but it's like a stick with a little hook, and he has a sword. And good choreography again, good back and forth, no shaky cam, but you understand what's going on. Solid, fluid moves. Then one leads to another. He gets with Jackson. And Jackson and his girlfriend says, "No, you gotta trust someone." Joe concedes, but he gets fucked over because the colonel's an asshole. And him and Mr. Obmonic get there, and Curtis Jackson, Steve James helps him out so he can escape. Mr. Obmonic chases him in a truck, but then crash and burn, and Mr. Obmonic dies. So no more Mr. Obmonic. And maybe one thing leads to another. The bad guys, you find out the bad guys and the colonel are working together, and the colonel wants nothing to do with them anymore. And this guy's still an asshole because he doesn't give a fuck about Joe. He just doesn't want to do it anymore. Maybe later. So they kidnap his daughter. Joe is able to sneak in, fights a few baddies, sneaks in, meets with the old guy, John Fujioka. Again, out of the the quote master, and these kind of films, like of course you have Mr. Miyagi. I always enjoyed this guy. I thought his acting was natural. He just seemed like a very likable guy. Like, okay, if you had this as a master, as a father figure, you were in good hands. And basically showing him his weapons, and he shows him the Cobra ninja magic. I think it's like this. I think like this. This and this. So yeah, I think it's like this, and this. Not that, but I mean, then there's a Cobra ninja magic. And it tells about the Black Star Ninja, beware of him. He's taking these ways and become basically evil. He's like, okay, he must die. And Joe gets his ninja gear, badass fight scenes. His master joins them. Really good choreography, wide shots. You can understand what the fuck's going on. You can understand the choreography. You gotta understand who's who, because Joe has a red sort of thing around his waist, so you can tell it's him. Good choreography, solid action sequence. I loved it. But then the Black Star Ninja kills his master / father figure. And Steve James and the army comes in. Steve James has an M60. There's a scene where the guy drives like, "I'm taking this bitch uptown. Bring me home, baby." Blows his shit. And basically, all out battle. Army's fucking up, the regular bad guys and ninjas. Joe and the ninja having a one-on-one face-off where one's chasing the other, and they're going through like some of the, like one of those training things where you have the spikes in the pillar. But it's done better here than some films I've seen because it doesn't look as cheap. I guess the material and the environment doesn't look as cheap. I guess best way to put it. And the Black Star Ninja's pulling everything out of his ass. He's got fucking flamethrower type shit. He can, he like throws his claw at him. He has even a fucking laser at one time to shoot at him. Like throwing every fucking thing in the book. And Joe sometimes throwing stars, and ultimately they have a sword fight and he kills the Black Star Ninja. Steve James gets in a funny fight with this big guy. He punches the shit out of him. He goes, "Oh shit!" Punches him again, and then grabs the big guy by the neck. "Ah, you like that, huh? What did he say? Like, how you like that, no nuts? How you like that, no nuts?" And beats the shit out of him. But then finally gets his ass. I thought it was pretty funny. Again, Steve James is a very likable guy. Again, after Joe kills the Black Star Ninja, he's hanging on a helicopter and rescues the girl. Steve James gets this big funky looking bazooka heat seeker thing, blows up the helicopter, and when the movie ends, it ends. Like, he has the girl, gives it to Steve James, who's down below, takes his mask off, boom, end of movie. And that's what I mean by this film. What I enjoy about this film, it's straightforward, it's to the point. I like the actors involved. I like Michael Dudikoff. I thought he did well. I'm not sure if this was his first I don't think it was his first film, but I definitely think it was his first starring role. Again, this is 1985, so I know he was in a bit part in Uncommon Valor, like a little teeny tiny part that you couldn't see. He did TV. Let's see. He had a teeny part, I guess, in Tron as conscript number 2. A lot of TV stuff. Again, he was Red Brown's assistant in Uncommon Valor. Bachelor Party, he was in. I forgot. He was in Bachelor Party in a supporting role. Forgot also he was in Radioactive Dreams, which that's a film I saw once, but I don't remember too much about it. But American Ninja, this is really cementing him in the canon because he did some of the sequels. He did Platoon Leader. He did River of Death. Did a bunch of stuff after this. And I don't know what happened because I think the last film he did was in 2002, 2003. So I don't know if he just retired. But I like Michael Dudikoff. I thought he did well here. He did what he had to do, and I'm sorry, I thought he did fine with that. He had a low-key, subtle, kind of like early Eastwood type of vibe I got from him. I enjoyed that. Steve James is a very fun, likable character. The score, I like okay, even though they rip off a lot of other films like Enter the Ninja and Missing in Action, although I do like those pieces of music they take. The Black Star Ninja has a good look to him. Yeah, it's a fast pace. It is a low budget film, but it has a lot of stuff going for it. It doesn't get boring, it doesn't get tedious. Whenever you think, okay, when's the, oh, here's the action. Oh, here's the action. Now, a lot of ninjas, big body count, action-packed throughout the flick, especially the ending, where the whole compound, it's kind of like what they used later for Ninja Assassin. But of course, it's been done before. I think the ending of the Octagon did that too. So I guess they've done that before and after. But I don't know, American Ninja, yeah, a fun pace, fast pace. I like the leads. The Black Star Ninja I think did fine. That guy did fine as the villain. I like the actor who plays Michael Dudikoff's sensei. Michael Dudikoff, Steve James, they're back and forth. The little bit they had was enjoyable. And again, it's 90 minutes. It doesn't go on too long, and it knows what it is, and I think it does it well. And it's an entertaining film. I don't really have any problems with it. I mean, the love story, thankfully, it's not in your face. It doesn't take up tons of time. But at the same time, it's not like you really gave too much of a shit. But again, the girl I like, Michael Dudikoff I like, Steve James I like, the guy who plays the Black Star Ninja I like. A lot of likable acting characters, and a lot of action. That's mainly a lot of action. So, American Ninjas, it's a fun movie. It's an entertaining movie. So either way, thanks for watching, and take care. Later.